Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Obesity Matters Wellness Workshop, where we embark on an incredible journey towards better health and wellness together. We're going to talk about weight, and that's a really complicated topic to cover. But in this particular instance, we're going to talk about what are the truth and some of the myths about that. Now, today we have two very special guests with us. They are medical doctors that specialize in obesity medicine. Dr. Florencia Ziemke and Dr. Marsha Novick will be joining us today and helping us talk through this topic. They're going to be sharing some insights from their perspective, from a scientific perspective, and also from a patient perspective.
Folks, you know the numbers. You've heard the numbers, you've seen the numbers, and you can even read the numbers on the screen. But rather than focusing on that, I want to explain why this matters. So fast facts about the condition of excess weight. More than 1 billion people worldwide are affected by excess weight. Obesity is the second leading cause of preventable death in the US after smoking. I'll expand and say that overweight and obesity are the fifth leading cause globally of early death. I will tell you that obesity is a chronic, complex, relapsing, and treatable disease. We're surrounded by processed and ultra-processed food. You're driving down a highway and it seems that every exit is inviting you to processed, ultra-processed, readily available food that lacks nutritional components to nourish our bodies and are typically very high in salt, sugars, and fat. The era of portion distortion, another component of our obesogenic environment. Portions compared now to the 1970s have nearly tripled. What was once enough food for one when you go out to a restaurant is sufficient to feed a family of 4. Sedentary lifestyle, more screen time, less movement, less physical activity. So all of these factors are what describes the obesogenic environment that all of us are exposed to right now. When we look at some of the environmental, socioeconomic, hormonal, and medication factors, poor sleep and stress, the National Sleep Foundation recommends 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. The average adult falls far from that mark. Why does sleep deprivation matter? Well, because hormonal changes happen that lead to increased appetite, more eating, and weight gain. Stress, same thing. Not more stress. We need less of it. Food insecurities, health disparities, access to grocery stores, access to healthcare, hormonal changes throughout our lifespan. Oftentimes these are out of our control. Menopause, pregnancy, I'm using female examples, but many of these hormonal changes that occur biologically throughout our lifespan are contributors to the condition of excess weight. Weight-inducing medications, again, long list of weight-inducing medications. Oftentimes it could be something that is simply taken an over-the-counter sleep aid. It's typically the most common example I use. You're having issues falling asleep. Maybe you've had a stressful day. You go to the drugstore or to your local store and you buy an over-the-counter sleep aid. This can contribute to weight gain.
And the body tries very, very hard to try to keep our weight as stable as possible. And you can see how complicated the pathways are. And this is one of the reasons why it's been so hard to find medications that help to reduce hunger and appetite. Our appetite is controlled by many parts of the brain as well as other parts of the body. So for instance, when you go to a big party or you go to Thanksgiving dinner and your brain is telling you that you're full and your stomach is telling you that you're full, but there might be some room for some dessert. And so even as complicated as this pathway is, it can still be overridden by the mesolimbic system. And the mesolimbic system not only includes food triggers, so there might be certain foods. For instance, you've seen commercials on TV where you can't stop at one potato chip. There's a reason for that. It's affecting the mesolimbic system. In addition, there may be triggers of emotion that are regulating our appetite as well. So for instance, if we're feeling happy, we're celebrating. Or if on contrast, we have emotions of anxiety, worry, or depression, those also can affect our appetite as well. And so with this continued weight gain, what we have is problems with our metabolism. It's very, very difficult for the hypothalamus to create balance. And so our set point continues to climb, and we have other medical problems that are associated with the weight gain. In fact, there are over 200 different medical and psychological conditions that are associated with excess weight.
So what are the weight loss treatments and what is the focus? Remember, dietary changes, lifestyle and behavior, then we can begin with medical intervention. But the important thing is, think of that game Jenga. And you're building that beautiful tower, and the minute you start removing the bricks from the bottom, the tower tips over. Weight loss treatment is the same. Our nutrition needs to focus on what I call whole, clean, and lean. Balanced nutrition that nourishes our body. Consumption of processed and ultra-processed food. Why does this matter? Don't get me wrong. Processing isn't a bad thing. Processed and ultra-processed becomes a problem when they're used to increase the palatability and the taste of foods. They're typically very high in sugars, high in salt, and high in fat. As we were mentioning, a potato chip and feel, you couldn't just have one. There's a reason for that. This has to do with the combination of certain ingredients. Our dietitians will dive into food labels and ingredients. They're going to present a whole array of examples, navigating stocking our kitchen pantry, and navigating meal planning and meal prepping. All of these changes are important, and they don't happen overnight.
In addition, there will be lifestyle and behavior changes that are needed for wellness as well, and we'll be delving into a number of these concepts over the course of the next year in our wellness workshop. Physical activity will be discussed multiple times, as well as how do we improve our sleep? How do we improve and reduce our stress level? In addition, working on behavior and acknowledging that some of these behaviors may be contributing to our weight can be helpful as well. So are there certain emotions that may be triggering why we're eating? In addition, there are treatments that are more aggressive compared to our dietary and lifestyle changes, and these include meal replacements, anti-obesity medications, and surgery. And we'll be delving more into these concepts over the course of the year with the wellness workshop.